Okay, and I'm going to pick some few participants right now to support the co-hosting so that anyone who comes in could just be admitted. So I'm randomly making few people administrators. So please, if you find out that you are, co-host, yes, it's just to ensure that others who are coming, I don't get distracted. Okay, so I've just made a couple of people, participants, co-hosts. So anyone that comes in, I know I'm covered. So my name is Samson Emelike. I'm the coordinator for Havron e-learning hub for Africa, where our focus is to bridge the skills gaps for professionals in Africa through online learning programs and career pathways. And sometimes we give students access to programs organized by other universities that we partner with. And some other time we get our own courses, and then we conduct the trainings. So recently, there are a number of organizations that are asked to partner with us. So there are some of them that we are still looking at their programs, and then shortly we'll also be announcing them. So what we are doing tonight is a continuation of the batch 2 of our business data analytics with Microsoft Excel. And we are taking this from basics. So we started 2 weeks ago, and we are doing this every Saturday from 8 a.m. and up to 9:30 a.m. So it's about 60 to 90 minutes training. And but before that, I'd just like to let us know some of the programs and the courses that are upcoming for us, either from our partners or those ones coming directly from us. So our partner, that's UNICAF, is offering members of Havron Network a whooping 80% scholarship to study online for a UK university degree. We all know that getting a degree from UK university ranges from 15 to 22,000, or some there are some actually 30,000 pounds. So the ones that are being run on this scholarship, the actual cost is 16,000 pounds. And so elsewhere, you may get less than 80% scholarship, but those coming through Havron, we have 80% scholarship to run this program. So which means rather than paying 16,000 pounds, you will have to pay 3,200 pounds. And it's not paid at once, it pays in installments for up to 9 installments based on the agreement that we had with them. We are a set of peculiar organizations, and we represent the people who do not really have these means. And so cost has been a big barrier. So any organization that's partnering with us should have this at the back of their minds. So that's why we have this scholarship. Then we have from our own kitty, logistics and supply chain management course. We're actually stepping this from 25,000 Naira to 15,000 Naira per participants. And batch 1 is currently ongoing now. They're already in week 1. Okay, they'll be ending the week 1 this weekend. So it's going for 15,000 Naira. So those who are interested should also contact us at the end of this. I will also send the email for further discussion. We have some MPH specializations from one of our partners, James Lim Institute in Switzerland. Shortly after this, I'm going to show us those specializations, those courses. And then from University of Washington, there are professional development courses. By Monday, we'll open the online registration for 3 courses: Introduction to Epidemiology, Monitoring and Evaluation, and then Well-being for Health Professionals. And then also from us, we have 2 other courses that we are planning to launch soon. One of them is Fundamentals of Grant Proposal Writing. People may want to submit proposal to receive grants from NGOs and other donor organizations. So how do you go about it? We are going to unveil the strategies in engaging them, what they look out for, and how to present those things in your proposal writing. And then we'll be able to showcase some sites that you can actually go and seek for grant openings where you can submit your grant proposal. And it's just designed for the youth. We target those who are going to the university or those who are already in the university. We prepare them on what to face in future. We prepare them even when they go to the university, how they will be able to stand out from a crowd. So we have 3 core programs, courses that we have built in here. This is actually a career pathway. We built in time management, effective time management. Number 2 is self-leadership. And number 3 is goal setting. We discovered that any youth who is able to understand the concept of goal setting is sure to plan for a great future. And then when you see some people, and I believe most of us experienced this when we went to the university, it was a new environment. And so a lot of things came calling, requiring attention. If we do not understand how to effectively manage our time, most of the students will go unfulfilled at the end of the day. So these are some of the things that I felt I should let us know. All right, so we will be going right away to what we started last week, and that is business data analysis with Excel. So for the benefit of those who are joining us today for the first time, we just want to give a brief recap. And this is what is guiding us, the outline that is guiding us. I told us this is the 3rd Sunday. In our third Saturday, in our first session, the one, we discussed what is data analytics, overview of data analytics, the analytical skills required for an analyst. And then last week, we delved into basic Excel and we gave access to all the members. So we are going to be taking your responses at the end of this review to know how many people have accessed that module. To do that, I think it's about 8 hours Excel that introduces participants to the basics of Excel. Why does a cell behave the way it does, and take advantage of some of those things to do what we do. And then we also shared a link to Welcome to Excel Basics. Take a tour. We will also get the feedback of those who are there. And then that same week, we started with data tools. And in our data tool review, we looked at that toolbox, and then we looked at data validation. And the data validation that we did was the simple one, that's direct. And then we discovered there are 2 ways that we can do that. And we had time to practice that. I'm sure that we all did that. So today we will be concluding the data tool pack, where we'll be looking at the dependable drop-down list. We'll explain that shortly. And then we'll look at flash fields, how that helps us to perform more effectively and efficiently. You can see something that takes you 1 hour with the understanding of flash fill and these things that we are doing, you can actually perform them in less than 5 minutes. So we'll look at how that works. And then we'll wrap it for today. When we do that, okay, no, we'll also look at text to columns. Then we'll do some assignments. So this is all that we are going to be looking at today. So before I ask for the feedbacks, I want to find out if there are any who may have questions based on what we discussed last week before we begin to sample our feedbacks, whether we did what we're supposed to do or not. So there are questions. If there are questions, please use the chat box and share your thoughts, your concerns, or your questions. And then I will also use the opportunity to ask, how many of us, let me even look at the people who were here, okay. Rachel was here last week. Dr. Tomori wasn't here, so I'm expecting a feedback from you. Helene, I'm not sure if she was here last week. She was here, certainly. And Luke.
I was not here.
Yes, Helene, I know you were not here. I said so, you were not here last week.
Yeah.
I think today is the first
Thank
time.
you.
Yes, you're welcome. So Sheyi was here last week. Bola Day, I can't tell until I look at the attendance. But if you were here last week, we expect your feedback. Then Kinshola Rowolo, I'm not sure if he or she was here last week. Dixon Ajame, yes, you were supposed to be here, but I didn't see you last week. My friend Dixon, how is Cameroon this evening? Hello, Dixon, are you on?
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, Dixon, how are you doing? How is Cameroon this evening?
I'm okay. We are fine. We thank God, and it's nice to hear you. And hello to all who are there. Last week I got a little busy. My mom was not very healthy, so that's why I couldn't join. But I'm happy to join you guys from now.
You're welcome. We're glad to receive you.
Thank you.
Then Emmanuel Akinola Ezekiel. I can't remember if I saw you, but I know you are enrolled in the Logistics and Supply Chain Management. Engineer Omaka Chuku. I can't remember if I saw you. Then Abdullahi Fadima too. You were supposed to join, but I can't remember if you did. Lawa, yes, you were here last week. Simon Desams, I'm not sure. Okay, so please, can we get your feedbacks? If you were here last week, be honest, tell us you did those things or you didn't do those things, and we'll be encouraged. So let's take 2 minutes. This is 8:18. By 8:20, we will start in earnest.
Okay. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. This is Lawal Oluwatoyin.
Yes, yeah. Lawal.
Yeah, well done, Mr. Sampson.
Thanks for your
visit.
Okay.
To Ekiti.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I actually enjoy your lecture here on this this exam module. However, I actually wanted to try my hand. So unfortunately, we had some, couple of reporting, this end of year report, and really could not do much. But I'm still going to, work on them as we have, free time, and get back to you if there are challenges. Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Sampson. This is Sheyi speaking.
Good evening. Yes, Sheyi, welcome.
Okay. I laid my hands on, I applied the teaching we had last week on some of my data analysis, and I was able to like make headway.
Okay.
So I mean, you can also bear me witness. Immediately I call you the next day so that how do we do that? Do we do that? So
Okay.
and also my son also joined, so he's also growing well in the Excel as well. So we
Okay.
can use if counts. Later further. Going later further. To expand on it and couple with the fact that he also attend an Excel class in the town as well. So I think was able to at least we're able to
Okay.
we're able to lay our hands on it, and then I think we are doing fine on it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, okay, Maka didn't join last week. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so for those who didn't join last week, what we can do is please share your email on the chat box so that I can have them later on. Then I will share the recording for last week and the previous week, and then the presentation that we made in the orientation so that you can also be on board with us. So today we are going to look at the data validation, and then we conclude on that, and then delve into the other aspect of data too. Here on our outline, last week we discussed how we'll be able to make these things to be on drop down. So we did that. And the purpose why we started with this sheet was to help us track our performance in the things that we are doing. So what is data analytics? We did it. So the way we have done this is count of 1, and it's 10% because there are 10 of them. So we did this also. We did this also. We did this also. We did this also. And this, we can say done since we're on it. I didn't have the third one. I didn't put it, so done. So for us, we are 60% on our way. Okay, so here I have this spreadsheet, and this is what we are going to be using for today. Now, like I told us before, sometimes the spreadsheet that we train with, we develop it, and then other times we share an already prepared sheet. So for this one today, we are going to prepare some, and then we will now use the one that we are already prepared. So what's going to happen is I am going to, this is what I have done here. Anybody can easily do this. But however, once we are done and during our practice session, I will just share this with you. Then you download through your email, and then you can lay your hands on, you can employ your hands to practice what we are going to be looking at. So here, let me just give us a brief overview of what we are trying to do. It's a hypothetical situation or scenario where we have a drive for COVID-19 testing. We have a drive for COVID-19 testing. And we have some facilities, up to 20 facilities. They come from different states, and they come from different local governments of each of those states. We are going to assign the population of the local government, or, okay, now let's say LGA population. Okay, so we are going to use local government population, and then we are going to set 80% target of that population. Then at the end, we are going to report the number of tests done in this column. And then we'll assign the number of positive results gotten, and then we'll record the number of people on treatment. Okay, so we are going to do this, and we will likely encounter errors. We are going to deliberately encounter errors so that when we are doing our data analysis, we'll be looking out for those errors. Okay, so at the end of this, we are supposed to come up with some key indicators that we monitor what we are doing. So over here, on my left-hand side here, we have some indicators. So we want to look at what is the performance on targets, what is the percentage coverage, what is the positivity rate, and what is the enrollment rate. Okay, so one thing I want to do, I would have put them here, but I wanted us to be on this call before I do that, because there's something I am going to do, and I don't know who that may be. I don't know who may be benefiting from that. So I usually do that. So what I am going to do now is I'm going to copy all this one and translate them over here at once. Here it is in a column, but I'm going to translate them towards this side to become on the single row. And how to do that is I've highlighted this. So I'm going to copy it, Control C. This is where the pasting is going to begin from. And I want it to be here, 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 and here. So I'm starting from here. I'm going to transpose what I have copied. Transposing means putting them horizontally if what you copied were vertical, or putting them vertically if what you copied was horizontally. So right now it's vertical on one column. So I'm going to translate them. So I put here, this is my transpose. I right click, let me start again. I right click here where I want it to start from. And I click paste special. And then I'm going to transpose. So I'm going ahead to click OK. And they are all this way. So each facility is supposed to have its own performance, percentage performance, and so on and so forth for each facility. So that's what we'll be looking at. Okay, so then let me just simply bring this in there for the 20 facilities. Good. I don't want this anymore. So I'm going ahead to clear it, clear everything, done. So the next thing we want to do is we want facilities here. We need to select the state. Now, the reason why we want to validate this is to remove whatever that will make our data messy, so that we will have a consistent data when we are doing our analysis. So it reduces what we need to clean to bring our data to a standard state before analysis. So that is why we do data validation. So right now we are going to use one of those methods that we discussed last week. So we are going to rename this. These are 4 states. So under our name box here, I'm going to rename this as state and enter. So remember that if you click any of these things, it still gives you the name box of that cell. But until you select all of them, it gives you the rename that you have given it to it. If I select a cell above that, it's no longer that name. So these 4 items here, they are under the state name. So I've selected all the places we need to validate, and I'm going ahead to come to my data tab here. Then I come to data validation. We want to allow a list to be using, and what is the source of that list. So I'm going ahead to click here, and I'm typing equals, and I'm going to write state. Remember over here on our left-hand side here, that's outside the data validation wizard. On column A of our spreadsheet, this is where we name 1, 2, 3, 4 as states. So we are now commanding Excel to go to the name database and fix for us these highlighted cells or the option in the list containing these states. So we okay that. And then each one now has these states. And so we can actually decide what state these facilities belong to. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we are going to have local governments for each of these states. Now, the reason why we need the dependable drop-down list is assuming we want to have 4 states, 4 local governments under each state. So when we click here, we don't want to have 4 times 4 local governments spread out here, which may make somebody to choose a local government sounding similar to another local government in another state. What we want to achieve is, if we come here, the list of the local governments will be displayed only based on what is selected here. So if we choose Oyo State, the local government that we should display here are those ones in Oyo State. If we come here and we choose Ogun State, let the local government, the list of local government that we will display here, be those ones under Ogun State. So that's what we are going to be doing now. So we'll still do the same thing here. I'm going ahead to copy this, and I'm going to transpose it so that they will come on this. So I'm right-clicking here, I'm pasting special, I'm transposing it, and I'm okaying it. So we now have all this. Now, I want 4 local governments from Oyo State. Those who are familiar with Oyo State, please, can you give me name of 4 local governments in Oyo State, please? And then those ones for Ogun, just be thinking, I'm coming to you. Oyo State, I know there is Ibadan South, Ibadan South and North. Then we have Oyo. Then which one again? I'm waiting for someone to tell me. Ogun State. Okay, let's just use Garki, Wari, Maitama, even though these are not local governments. Let's say Karu. They are not. No, let's use Lugbe. I know these are not local government, but these are hypothetical figures and names that we are using. So please, I'm waiting. Okay, let me see. Okay, Abeokuta. Okay. I've seen some here. Ogun, Ijebu, de Ogun. So we have Ijebu, Ode. Then Ipokia. Okay, I can't find any other one for that state. Ogun State, I need more.
Abeokuta South.
That's for Honduras.
No. Abeokuta for.
Okay, sorry.
Abeokuta South.
Abeokuta South.
And Abeokuta North.
Okay, Abeokuta North. Okay, thank you so much. Oh, on those states, that's great. Let me just put this here. Good, so that's great. I need one more for Ibadan. Nobody can bail Ibadan out.
Oluyole.
Oluoye. Ladies.
Oluyo.
Oluyo. Is it Oluyo, ladies?
Oluyo. L-E, not Y-E.
Like this, right?
Yes.
So thanks so much. Okay, so what we want is, if we choose Ibadan here, we want the local government that will appear here to be those ones in Oyo. So what we are going to do now is, so here, we are going to select all the local governments under Oyo and name it Oyo. Please note that if we are going to use independent, the dependable drop down, if you want to do the dependable drop down list, you need to make sure that this name is exactly the way you are going to write it here. This, if you write Oyo State here, it's no longer going to be the same thing as Oyo. So if you say Oyo State, be sure that here is Oyo State. Whatever that is here must be here. The same thing here. Okay, so we are using Oyo. And make sure there is no space. We talked about the effect of space last time, and I'm sure we know how to take care of that. So here is Ogun. Here is Ondo. Here is FCT, FCT. Great. So what we will need to do, now that we have inserted all these points to be the state, we come over here right now. We are going to use a function, an Excel function called indirect. Indirect. So let me just write it here, indirect. So it's a function, it's an Excel function. So if, assuming I type equals to indirect here, let's say I start typing indirect, you can see the function here. So if I activate this, it's going to ask for the details. So that's what we are going to be using here. So I am going to come to my data validation here. I am going to restrict list, and I'm going to say equals to indirect. And I'm going to open my brackets. So what I need to do is, I am saying that it should be dependent on what is here. It should be dependent on what is here. And then I close my brackets. Now, because this, if you look at this reference now, it is locked. So I need to unlock it so that it can apply to this role, it can apply to this role, can apply to this role, but all on the same column. So we are going to leave the column locked, and then when we come to the row, we'll unlock it. We know that our column is the letter, and then the rows are the numbers. So what this means is, since we want the rows to continue to change, we are going to remove this $sign from this 2 in front of the 2. So I'm going to click this. So I'm going to repeat this to show you what may happen in another circumstance. So if I click here, you see that Ibadan is showing, sorry, all the local governments in Oyo State is showing. Still on this same place, if I choose Ogun and I come here and open up, only the local governments under Ogun will show. If I come here and choose Ondo State, it is those local governments in Ondo State will show. So I am going to delete this. I'm going to undo. I'm going to undo. Yes, I've removed this. The first one, it was smooth. So I'm going to delete here. There are no entries. So we are going to repeat what we did. So I have come here, selected, and I am going to my data validation. I want to allow only lists, and the list is based on an indirect function. So I open it. So I'm going to click here. This is where I want it to look at. And then remember that we want it to roll down the same column, but changing rows. So once we want our reference to change, we'll remove the $sign, and then we'll close our brackets. Now see what's going to happen. We didn't see this error message the first time. The reason is That time we had something selected under state here. There were values here. So what it's telling you now is that if it looks indirectly at the reference of this H2, it didn't see anything that it can bring on board here for you to select. So Excel is telling you that where you have reference to, it evaluates to 0. There is nothing there. Do you agree? Now you know that the reason why this is so is because here is empty. So you say, yes, go ahead. And then it goes up. So if you click here right now, nothing is showing because nothing is here. But the moment you put FCT, for instance, you open here, then the whole thing appears again. So because we removed the $sign from the rows, we can easily copy it down and everything here will be the same. So if we come here and choose, sorry, let me take this up. If we come here now and choose Ondo State, what's going to be here will be those things that are, those local government under Ondo State. Okay, so that is how we use the indirect to build our dependable drop-down list. Okay, so I'm going to give us 15 minutes, although it's almost time now. Let me see the emails that we have. I'll copy the emails and then share to everybody. But then I also want you to type any questions or anything you want me to do while I try to send this sheet to everyone so that we can use that. Doing that, I don't know. I think it's better for us to do that. Okay, I'm going to, hold on. What I'm going to do now is, let me populate this all. And then so that when I'm sharing that, I know I am sharing the same, just one for all. But what you'll be doing, what I will need you to do is, because I've already done this here, if I send this to you, you won't have anything to do. I've named this according to the states. So I'm not sure sharing this now will be of great benefit to us. Maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you to do this. But in the time being, I'm going to just use one Excel function to fill up this data here, where we need to work, where we need data to work with. So here and here is what we are going to fill. The population here, I'm just going to randomly assign local government population. And even if I have up to 2,000 records, I can do that in 2 minutes. You can imagine if you don't know how to do this and you want to assign random population to 20 facilities, you may take time. So what I am going to do is going to take me, in fact, less than a minute to randomly assign populations to these 20 facilities. So I'm starting now. I've selected all the places I want to randomly assign population or any number for that matter. So I'm going ahead to type equals to, and I'm going to choose a function called round between. So that round between is asking you choose a bottom value and a top value. So it will now generate random numbers between these ranges. So let's choose 100,000 up to 500,000. So it's done. Everything here is done. And I guess that's less than a minute. So I just fix this here. I am done. So here now, because it's 80% value, so this is going to be this times 0.8. We all know that 0.8 is the same thing as 80%. Okay, so the rest, okay, so we also need to do number tested. Okay, so again, we are going to use a round between function. So round equals to round between. Let's say the test that we are doing, already this is 16,000. up to 300 and something thousand. So let's say we are choosing between 10,000. Sorry, I don't need to put that, 10,000, and the upper limit is what was the other one? Was 50,000. So let's say 50,000. Control Enter. So let's anyone we see error, we can flag it. So we use this also maybe when we are running our conditional formatting. So just a minute, I'm going to give us time to look at the questions that you have asked, if there are any. And then I usually would like to, because this comma, sorry, this thing will help me to know where there is a comma and to look at my thousands. Okay, so this is the number of people tested. And okay, so we need to also get our positivity rate. Let's get the number of people who were tested positive. Let's say I'm also going to use round between. So please note that this is just it's not a real thing. We are just assigning figures to help us in our analysis. So let's say we are going to get up to 1,000, and let's say 15,000. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah. Yes, thank you. I didn't put, yes, thank you so much. I've seen that, so I'm going ahead to fix this. All right. So the rest things are our calculations. So we are done. And so what I am going to do now is I am going to create another
comma in the thousands for the number of positive as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we have this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create another sheet and then send you this one, but I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove what we did here. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, so let me just create a copy to a new workbook. Okay, now let me just put it to the end. So what I'm going to do now is, please work on this one, data to dependable. This is assignment, or not Excel font file. Okay, so I am going to remove all these things here so that you will do them by yourself. I'm only leaving this. So just try out any of these things. And okay, no, so let me just leave it. I'll only go to the database. You need these names of the local government. So let me go to the database, my data name, and let me remove all these ones. Because I've created another file now. I've created another file now. If I do that, okay, I can do that from the beginning again. So let's stay here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me delete all of them. Good. Okay, so that's all. If I select this, nothing there. If I select this, nothing there. So let me see here, the same thing, nothing there. Good. So I'm going to send this. I shouldn't even have. So let me just, okay, yes, just do this one. I couldn't do this one. So I'll just send this to you now. Then attempt this Excel 5 font so that we can go ahead. So just give me a minute. I'll send this thing and then I'll attend to any questions that we may have. Okay, let's see.
Good evening, Mr. Sampson.
Yeah, good evening.
How are
Welcome.
you?
I'm fine. This Mary Jimo, right?
Yes, so
I miss your voice, so
sorry.
I've been asking after you.
Yes, I was told.
Okay. So it's
Actually,
good
last
that-
week I joined, but very late. Even today,
Okay.
it's not too long that I joined. And somehow,
Okay.
because of my busy schedule, I'm still a bit lost to the assignment you are giving us.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm not dragging you back. And just give me 1 or 2
Yeah.
minutes to go by it again.
Okay. Okay. So what's going to happen is let me send the file first.
Okay.
Okay. I will send the files first, and then while others are working on the file, I can take time to, you understand?
Okay.
So
Thank you.
to Excel phone file. Okay. That's a minute. Let me see where this thing is. Okay. Okay, just a minute. Data business, data. Excel. Okay, so I need to good. So let me just close this. Yes. Okay, so let me just pick your, I have some, okay. I have this one also.
Hello, Mr. Sampson.
Yes, please.
How are you sending
The file
to us?
via email.
Via email. Okay.
Yes, Rachel, I think I had your email. Rachel, please confirm. Did you receive the last week?
Yes, I received the last email.
So that means we still have your, those who have been receiving need not send again.
It's all right, sir.
Okay, so just a minute. Okay. So I'm just trying to copy the addresses and Lawa, please confirm, did you receive our email last week? KC, so that I won't have to be taking time to copy the emails that we already have. Because
I didn't receive it. Maybe you can receive it.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, I received.
Okay, so
You should check your spam in your email.
yeah, sometimes it goes there.
Yes.
Okay,
But please kindly send in case you didn't get it.
okay, so I'm sending now. I think I've copied. Okay. The Excel that I am using is Office 365. But if you have version 13 of Office 13, 16, 19, 21, you should be able to see this. So let me just send now. I've attached this. Okay, let me be sure. Okay, so please check your emails, check your inbox and your spam folder. If you don't see it, please let me know. So let me see if there are questions that came while we were. Okay, I didn't get any question. Oh, I think I must have missed this Eleni. Oh, let me send to Eleni. She was the first to send. Okay, do this. Okay, by now, I believe everybody should have received. So, but please just confirm if you. Dr. Michael Tomori, I greet you. Yes, we will share the videos. We usually share the videos at the end of it. It usually comes in YouTube so that you can always have access to them. Okay. Akinola, did you send your email here? Or did you receive the previous one? Can you please resend again, Akinola? I may have missed it. If you didn't receive last week. Okay. Please. Okay. Eleni, please, can you check again? Because I didn't include yours. Engineer Mark, I think I sent to everyone. I remember sending to you. Okay, thank God. Eleni has received.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening,
Hello,
Mr.
yeah.
Nelson.
Good evening, Emmanuel.
Yes, I didn't receive. I was not part of the meeting last week, so I didn't receive any mail. I just resent my mail to you now.
Okay, yes, I just saw it. So what I am sending to everybody right now is for today's lesson. At the end of today, I will still send the outstanding ones to everyone, including those we had already previously sent, so that we can't assumingly leave out anyone. So we'll be sending to everybody again.
Okay.
So Arowolo, I've just copied your own, and speak to Akinola, I've copied your own. So I'm going to send now. Okay. Let's see. So like I say, what I am sending to you now is for today. I'll still compile the other ones and then share. So it has gone. Akinola, please check. And then Arowolo, please also check. Let's be sure you have received them. So if you have received, just go ahead and do what we discussed. Okay, like we explained, what we did. Okay, let me open the file again, and then let me let's say fun exercise. So we want you to, okay, so there is something here. Anyway, by the time you do it, you should be able to, because already this is there, but whatever you do there, you are going to override that. So task number 1 is fill the column H, which is the state, with drop down list of the states. So let me be specific of the four states. So that's number 1. Then number 2, fill the LGA. Sorry, fill the column I, which is the LGA, with drop down list of the LGAs of the respective LGAs selected in column H. Okay, that is.
Mr. Santi, please, could you share the videos as well so that we can review?
Which videos? Today on?
That of last week and today, and the previous ones too. And
yes, I will share it at the end. You know, we are still recording for today. So once it's done, we will share.
Certainly. That of the previous ones, the last week and the previous week.
Okay, yes, we'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
So here we have this. Then what is the third one? I think that's all. Those are the 3 these things we wanted you to do. Okay, so these are the questions. You need to check this, make this one to be, let's go to the first one. Make all these ones to be state. Make all these ones to be Oyo. Make all these ones to be Ogun. Same thing here for
we
Ondo.
can't see your screen actually.
Oh,
we
sorry.
You can't see your screen.
So you can see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, so sorry about that. So these are the exercises that we are supposed to work on. Okay, sorry. So these are the exercises. Number 1, we are supposed to, this is our H. We want you to fill the drop down here so that somebody can preferentially choose any state he or she wants here. But those states are the ones listed here. So give the person an option to choose any of the 4 states on this column. That's number 1. And then for number 2, we say fill this column. We drop down, excuse me, we drop down list so that somebody can choose a local government that can only be based on the state to select here. So we have seen that under Oyo, so if I choose Oyo here should display only the local governments in Oyo State. And if here is FCT, it should display the items under the FCT. So that's the assignment. So we have Right now, nobody has said he or she hasn't received it. So this is 9:05. So in the next 10 minutes, we should be coming back to review what we have done, if there are issues, before we go to the other ones.
Okay, Mr. Sampson, now back to my.
Okay.
Now back to me.
Okay. So what we did was just a continuation of what we did last week. So
Yeah,
now
and
let
last
me.
week, I was barely in the class. It's okay. It's okay. Continue. Let me hear.
Okay. Just a minute. Engineer Makase has not received. Let me be sure I copied your address. Engineer. Engineer Maka, are you sure you sent your email? I'm not sure your email is here. Did you send? Please, can you? Okay, omakamakus@yahoo.com. Ah, it should be there now. Sorry, let me just
I
send
have
it
not
again.
also received anything.
Is that true?
I have
What
not
am I
also
doing?
received.
Okay. Let me look at that. Let me see if I can still get that your email. Please, Madam Mary, can you just share your email right here? Let me just put it and then send it. Just type it, please.
Oh, where am I typing it now?
Under the chat box here. Let me just type, please.
Okay. I'll go there now because I'm presently in my mail.
Okay.
Under the chat box. Okay, I'm coming.
I mean, under this, where we are, under the Zoom chat box.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm coming. Another chat. Okay, chat box. Okay. Send to everyone. Okay. Small letter A. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So let me just use it and
Hello, fam. Hello, fam.
Yeah, Shay.
So it's like you give us expo. Immediately you set up that state with that same name, all the formula will fall back in place. So every other thing is in place. Immediately you just set the state the same. I mean, all the assignment is done. Immediately you will set our state like every other assignment is done. Yes, immediately I just put my state. Everything is done. Just the way you left everything back there now.
Okay, so that means under each state now, they will appear. All these things will appear.
They are there. Immediately I just put the same date and say so immediately I put the state, everything fall in place immediately.
Okay, so that is not a problem. What is okay? I think yes, there's something I didn't do. So what's going to happen now is
okay, fam, I'll finish you.
No, see what we are going to do. So,
Write something down.
okay, so see what we are going to do. You are still seeing my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so see what we are going to do. So you select all these places now, okay? The states and the local governments from facility 1 to facility 20, select all of them. Then go to your data, then come to data validation. So do this, then okay it. Then this is clear all. You clear all, you okay it. So nothing is there again. So you now do from the beginning. This was what I was supposed to have done, but I forgot before sending it. So please.
But I'm finished already now. I'm finished.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Should we submit now?
No, please go ahead and repeat it.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Mary Jo, are you still here?
Mary.
Okay, Mary, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So last week.
I knew when you were showing the formula, whatever between and thereabout, but I didn't get it from the beginning. So.
Okay, but did you understand how we're able to make drop-down lists here? Say we want somebody to choose the states, any of these states, let it be an option here, a list, a drop-down list. So we are going to do that.
Okay.
Let me just review it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what we did was every cell here has a name. So if I click in a cell here, the cell name is A2. If I click this one, is A3. If I click this one, is E3. Because it's on column E and row 3, that's why it's E3. So the same way
I know all of that.
Okay, so what we are going to do is here, we are selecting all these 4, and then under name box here, we are going to write state. Let the name become state.
Okay.
So anytime we select all this, it is state.
Okay.
Now you will see that this one, we have it here, Ogun State, we have it here, Ondo is here, and FCT is here.
Okay.
So the first thing that we did was to bring this thing and put them here. So what happened is we selected this one, we copied it, and because we wanted to put it across here, we selected here the very first place that our data will be pasted. So we right-clicked.
Okay.
And then first we need to paste special.
Okay.
Paste special, it will bring this. Then I am transposing. You can see what I'm doing, right?
Yeah, transposing.
Transpose. So okay.
Paste special, then transpose.
Yes.
Okay.
So this thing that is like this downward is now this horizontally.
Okay. So paste special, transpose. Okay.
Yes, because I want this thing, instead of coming like this, let it go across like this.
Okay.
And the same thing, if I copy this one like this, and I want it to come downward, I still paste special and I transpose, and then it comes downward like this.
Okay.
So the next thing that we did was to say, since we want any state we put here, let it appear here. So we want any state we select here, let a drop-down list of local government corresponding to the state here be shown here. So that means we need to rename these local governments to Oyo, these ones to Ogun. So the same thing we did here, and we said state, is the same thing we are going to do here, and click in our name box here, and we type Oyo, we enter. We select this one, we type Ogun.
Ogun.
We enter Ogun. The same thing here. We type Ondo. We enter. Then here, we select
FCT.
small letter. Yes. But we just need to be sure that what is here is what we are using in the name here. So I have done the first step that we require to set up the dependable drop-down list.
Okay.
So the first thing we need to do is to select all these places. This is where we want the states to appear, the options of the state to appear, the list rather. So we come to our data here. We come to data validation here. And then
data
we say,
validation.
Yes. Then what are we allowing? We allow anybody that will make entry on this sheet to be directed to a list so that they cannot write anything else other than to pick from the list. And that
allow list.
Allow list. So it's asking you what is the source of that list. So remember that we selected for the state here. So we are going to tell it the list is called state. Remember what we did here. So we say equals state.
Okay.
So we it. And then when you list here now, it is the state. That name that we listed here is what is appearing here. So we can choose Oyo here. Here we can choose Ogun State. Here we can choose FCT, however we want it.
Okay.
So the next thing that we did was to make sure that the list that will appear here will correspond to the local governments of whatever state you choose here. Yes, if it is Oyo, and if it is Ogun State, let the list that will be here be for the local government under Ogun State.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to my data again, coming to my data validation. Again, I'm going to allow lists. But now, because we want the list to be dependent on whatever we select here, we are going to use indirect function.
Indirect.
So indirect function.
Okay.
So I'm going to say equals to indirect. Because it's an Excel function, I'm going to open the bracket and I'm going to select here. Now, once you select here, it's going to give you a fixed location.
Okay.
So this fixed location is because of this $ in front of the H, which is column, and this $ in front of 2, which is the row 2. But because we want whatever we apply here.
Okay, please stop a bit. Okay, I've seen 1. Okay, state, row 2, we are in Ogun. No, okay. $H. H is where the Ogun. Okay, this Ogun is H2. Okay, I understand now.
Yes.
Is it H2 or H3?
No, it's H2. See the 2 here.
Okay, it's H2. It's
H2.
It's H2.
So,
Okay.
So because the $ is in front of 2, if we copy this thing downward, all of them will be making reference to this fixed point. So we don't want it to be like, yes. Okay. Or just to this place, this particular state, this particular thing here. That is what will be happening. But we don't want it to happen like that.
Cell. The particular cell.
That cell too. Good.
The particular cell.
So, yes, but we want it to spread across. So that this one here will be making reference to this. This one here will be making reference to this. So that means we remove the $ in front of the 2 and then close it. And then we it. So you see now that if I open here,
in front
the
of
local government that are listed. Yes, I'm removing that from the front, the one in front of the 2. The reason is if I leave it, if I don't remove it, if you come here and paste it here, it will be looking up at this H2, the value that is H2 here.
All you will see is Ogun.
No, all you will see, whatever that is in H2 here. So forget that.
Is the
Ogun
local
State is
government
here.
under Ogun?
No, see what I'm saying is, this is, I have removed this Ogun State so that you know it's just about the H2. Whatever that is here, this would, the list we have under local government will be dependent on the state we select here. And the way to do it is to use indirect. Good. So we have removed the dollar sign in front of the 2 because 2 represents the rows. Because this is on row 2.
Yes, I do.
This is row 3. So we want it to cut across.
Okay.
So we okay it.
Okay.
Now this error message pops up because there is nothing showing here.
Okay.
We're asking Excel to go up and look here. But now he looked at here and he didn't see anything.
Nothing is there.
It's telling us. Yes, so we say, okay, no problem, you should go ahead. So which means if we select Ogun State, it's Ogun State local governments that are there. If we go ahead and select FCT, it is FCT local government that are there. So all we need to do now is to select this one down here so that whatever we see here, see if I open here, nothing is opening because nothing is here. So if I select Oyo here, the local government under Oyo will appear. So this is the same thing we want everyone to practice and then let us know if they have any difficulties or not.
Okay.
Yes.
The question I have to ask, please. When you under Oyo, I can see Ibadan South, Ibadan North, Oyo, then Olugoke.
Oluyole.
Oluyole. So what it means that under state, if I put Oyo now, and I click if, under AJ equal to indirect, Abi?
No, you need to go through your data validation.
Okay,
you
data
need to go
first.
to the data validation.
Okay.
So it's data validation.
Okay.
You click your data validation, you select list. Then it's under the source that you will now click.
Okay, I will not say indirect. Okay, now I get it.
Yes.
I get it. Data validation, then list, source, indirect. Okay. Then the list will automatically now come down there. Thank you. Let me see what I can do now. Let me go to the assignment, Abi.
Yes. Okay, Casey, I saw your message. Please, can you unmute and let us know what you did? Can you share your are you connected with your laptop, Casey? Hello.
Yes, I am. Can you give me permission to share my screen?
Go ahead. Let me just stop sharing. Go ahead and share. Let me see
give me permission to share my screen.
No, you can. Once I'm not sharing, you can share.
Okay.
Any participant can share.
Okay. Okay. Are you seeing my screen?
It's coming up.
It's coming up. Okay, we can see your screen now.
Okay. Okay, so this now. Okay,
see, look at what it's telling me. A name
I've
range
seen. Just
you specified can. Okay.
Just okay it. Okay, the error message.
The error message.
It's still.
No, click the error message.
The error message first.
Okay, I've okayed it.
Then cancel.
I've okayed it.
Then it's And then cancel the next one. This data validation, cancel it.
I have okayed it.
Cancel it.
Cancel all.
Yes, cancel it.
Mama, I tell you,
Okay.
all these clothes, I tell you, say, maybe no one, maybe no buy this clothes. Say, this clothes, say, if you want first grade, now early in the morning you will go market. She say,
This is my screen.
Please, can she mute herself? Making noise.
I've muted her.
Do you understand? It's cancelled. There's nothing there as it is.
No, I want this thing to go off. This data validation.
Please, the data
It's like I
validation.
cannot use this one to do this.
Actually,
Sorry, am I the one not hearing very well, or is not very? Okay, I think his network is a bit challenging.
Can I share my own?
Is
Okay,
that no
please.
problem? Is that no problem?
Shay, please go ahead.
Okay.
Uh-oh, Eleni, why?
Yes, drop it.
Eleni, please, can you let me know what the issue is? Just type.
Can you share now? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, Shay is coming up.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, so I started with, creating my states under the A column. So I have all my states: Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, FCT. Or probably should I just, clean it, clear it and then do it all over?
No. Once it's working, that means you got it correctly.
Okay, it's working.
Okay,
so, So I created my state and I try to create, I like them and then have the name state to represent the first state.
Okay.
So I also create the 4 states in a different column, starting with Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, and FCT. So I have their 4 local governments. So I also highlighted the 4 local governments and then I name it Oyo. So it carries the same naming convention with what the column title is having. So the same thing applies to Ogun, Ondo, and FCT. So coming back to the first assignment, so I click into the box. I highlighted the H column H, and I go straight to the data validation. From data to validation, data validation. I click on data validation and I equate that column to state so that all the name of state under state will be able to appear on each cell of the column I highlighted, and that worked perfectly. So after that, I move on to column B to respond to attend to question 2. So I want all my states to have their local government in the column I. So what I did was that I click into the cell and I move on to data validation through data from the ribbon to data validation. So I I select list because I want the item to be listed. So I selected list. So I equate it and use an Excel function called indirect. So immediately I click on it, I type the indirect, I click on the first cell under the H. So before that, I open a bracket. So I clicked on the first cell under the column A, that's column H2. So I click on that, then I type my indirect, and it brings this formula for me automatically, the $$2. So which is creating the dollar sign on the 2 is creating a restriction that each time, if I should drag it down, the other cell will be making reference to that column, cell 1. So I have to remove the dollar sign in front of the 2, so that to allow the, when I'm picking local government, I will pick from based on the column H, and that was done, and everything is working perfectly. So for the local government, okay, okay. So under Oyo, I have Ibadan. I have a list of local governments from Ibadan. So if I go to, I pick Ogun State now. Under the state, I go back to the local governments. Okay, I've not dragged this.
Okay, so that's fine, Sheyi. That's very lovely. Thank you so much.
But sir, there's one other thing I've not done. You said we shouldn't drag. We said we shouldn't drag here. That column H. That if you drag, it will still make a reference to the first cell.
No. You have removed what would have caused that error.
Okay.
Because of that dollar sign you remove from 2, so you can drag now.
Okay.
Just drag that, drag it down.
It's speaking Ibadan.
No, just open any of this Ibadan. Open it. Click, open it. You will see.
Okay. Thank you. Means I'm perfect. Thank you.
Yes, it's good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Let me stop sharing.
Yes. You've done fine.
Okay.
All right. So I'm still expecting to hear from Eleni. I want to find out what happened where you lost track of what we're doing. We want to carry everybody along. So maybe if not now, private chat me and then we can talk. Okay, so there was one, among all of us, only one person said or complained that he had issue, and that was Casey. I don't know if he's back. The network threw him out. So let's hope that it's back. So the next thing I want to do now in the next 10 minutes, so that we can also go, is text to column, and then flash fill. They are very, very fast, but they can do wonderful things, and they are easy to grasp. So I'm going to, let me choose, where is that? Good. Under this data tools, flash fill. By next week, we are going to, this is easy. So please do all these ones. They are very easy. Do this calculation and all these things. By the time we come back.
Sorry, you're not sharing your screen.
Sorry again. Sorry. Is it up now, please?
It's up now.
No, it's my, okay. So sorry about that.
Yes, it's up now.
Okay. So what I am saying is, you go ahead and do this assignment all by yourself. Please build up this.
You need to open to Excel now. That's an Excel.
So build up this data sheet with data. What I mean by that, you fill up this local government and so on and so forth. Then you come over here, you do the analysis. do the calculation. Number on treatment. So I've left here. I hope it's sold on your own. All you need to do is just use the round between, assign any number randomly for number on treatment. Also bear in mind that those on treatment, okay, no, I will not tell you that. We'll run error check and then discover something there. So that will be our assignment for the week till we'll come back on Saturday. So the two quick things I want to do is the flash fill and text to columns. Now, if you look at this point here, I have names of students written in this format. The name, comma, Lisa. The name, comma, this. So the first name here is the first name, and the second name is the last name. So we are supposed to use this now and transform them here. If you are to do this, and there are 741 students, like you can see downstairs. So if we need to do that one after the other, how long will it take us? Whereas if we just go straight to do this using a function or a tool on Excel, it's going to give us a very fast process. So I'm going to select all of them, and then I'm coming to my data again. This data here. I'm coming to text to column here. So I click this. This pops out. So this is delimited by this comma. So you see it's already seen a preview of our selected data. So we are good to go. Next. It's separated by comma. So if I put a comma here, I have introduced a column, which is what we want. So that the first column will be the first name, the second column will be the last name. So we are done, but now we need to select the location. So let's go next. My location now will be whatever I select here. So I'm going to select this one here. This is where it's going to come from. I okay it and then finish. So it's telling me that there are data here. I don't know what the data are. So let me go ahead. It has overwritten it. So you can see everything has come out on its own.
Let's do it again, sir.
Okay. So let me undo that. I have selected what I want. Then I'm coming to my data. This is my text to columns. So I click this. Our data is delimited by comma or tabs. So comma is covered because our own here is delimited by comma. So I go next. This is the comma. If I remove this comma, it's going to be like this. So it's not tab, our own is not tab, it's comma. So I choose here. So it separates the two columns the way I like. So this is what I want, the data preview of what we are doing. So I go ahead and click. Then the next thing is for me to choose where it should be. So he wants me to paste it here. It's just selecting, asking me whether it should repeat it here. I said no, but I want it to appear on C. So I can just collapse this and come and select this. So I'll finish, say there's, I don't know what the data is seeing there, but I okay it, and then this pops up. So you see this name, this has been separated into this and this. So this is a very short way, assuming I have 2,000 records, 2,000 students, 2,000 entries that I need to separate like that, within a minute, I can achieve that. So that is our text to columns feature. Then the other one is flash fill. So I'm going to create, I am the IT officer of this organization, and I've been asked to create email addresses for every one of them. And they don't have a time. They need to submit it to a body that is going to approve, and they need it in the next 5 minutes. How are you going to create emails for each of these 741 students within 2 minutes and send it? So we can use flash fill to do that. Flash fill is a feature in Excel that when you perform an operation, it has typed that in its memory, it has saved what you did, and then by a command, it duplicates that to the rest of the fields. So now let's see how it works. So this is the place I'm going to create. So all Excel needs is to give it an idea of what you are doing, and it can mimic that for you. So the email address I want to create for each of these may be first name .lisa, say page .lisa at, let's say, havron360.org. That is all. I have done the first one. Then for me to apply the flash fill, I can simply do Control E. Control E for elephants. So if once I do Control E, everything happens for all the 741 people, students. So with this, I can easily send this to them. So you see everyone here, this is Hartfield.Carl. This is Hartfield, this is Carl. This is Carl, giving me the email. Okay, so these are the two things that I want to share with us as a closing gift. So you have this. I want you to do this, and then when we come back next week, we will review. So thanks, everyone. If there are questions, please type it. If there are none, 9:45, we are done for the day. I will share the recording as soon as it is done. So thanks very much. God bless you.
And that of that of last week too, the recording for last week and the videos.
Okay, I will do that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
All right.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you so much.